What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Dirty Mike, and today I'm bringing the FIFA guide back. If you haven't seen the previous video, I talked about the top 5 attackers, midfielders, defenders in all the big leagues. I mean, it's a long video. You're going to have to sit back and relax, get yourself some snacks, maybe take an intermission. But today, you guys told me I want to see goalkeepers and I want to see legends. So this video is going to be dedicated to the best goalkeepers in FIFA 17, period. These are my opinions, and I realize this position, the preference is real. But I want to see your top 5 in the comments down below. Don't just tell me you disagree with mine or you agree with mine. Let me see your whole list. And also, if you would like to get involved in the Legends video, I'll include some of the comments. Give me your best attackers, which includes the strikers, the center forwards, and the wingers. Give me your best midfielders, the cams, the center mids, the CDMs. Give me your best defenders. Your left back, your right back, your center back in terms of Legends if you're on the Xbox, because that's a video I'm gonna make. If you enjoy the content, make sure to drop a thumbs up, and if you need cheap codes, games, pre-orders, any of those beautiful things, make sure to check out G2A. The links will be in the description. Use Dirty at checkout. Get that extra discount. Hook it up. Let's begin with some honorable mentions. And when I'm looking at criteria, when I judge goalkeepers, it's all about consistency and how often are they going to save you in a match? Do they have that GOAT status in terms of what they're able to do if they're on their A game, and then they're not blowing matches for you over and over again? Because that's the worst. Who cares if 1 out of 3 games I get the best you, but in the other 2 I gotta suffer? I gotta be on the losing end. I don't want to deal with that. We've almost got 2 tiers of honorable mentions, and I want to start out tier number 2 with the Buffon, who is great as a goalkeeper for me, but there's something suspect about when he's coming out, when he's trying to close an angle, and that just has to put him in tier 2. Then we've got the likes of Leno, who's not necessarily missing anything. I just feel as if there are better goalkeepers in the Bundesliga, even though he's an 86 overall. And then I've also included Diego Galvez in this category, who fits the mold of your typical small, undersized Brazilian goalkeeper, acrobatic. When he's on, you love him, but when he's off, bro, he does not save anything. He just seems to let you down far too often. Tier 1 honorable mentions, and I would not be upset, or I would not disagree with you necessarily if you were willing to swap these guys into your top 5. And I gotta talk about Farman. Man, I love this German. In fact, there's times I prefer him over Neuer, but more importantly is if you don't have the coins for Neuer, this is a great backup. Same league, same types of connections and link-ups, and you can build that hybrid. You can still make it happen with Boateng and Alaba. You got that triangle of doom where it goes up to Renato Sanchez or possibly Vidal. Begovic! You have to emphasize it like that. Begovic, whoo! And I've also got Handanovic in the same tier 1 category. To go with the ever so popular Hugo Lloris. And I feel like people right now have just started typing in the comments, Hugo Lloris is not in your top 5. Oh, I'm waiting. I'm waiting, Mike. This better be a hell of a top 5 if you're not going to have big Hugo in there. Have you watched Tottenham play? This is disgraceful. Unacceptable. On that note, number 5, I've gone with Courtois. You might not like him in real life. You may not respect him. You may think he's overrated, but in FIFA, he's got that size situation that we talked about with Begovic, except now you've got someone who just seems to be more athletic. And more importantly, if he gets on a roll, you are going to notice that you're up against Courtois. It's tough to beat him. After he's made a couple early saves, best of luck to you. I hope you maybe capitalize on a rebound, because he's just not going to be beat. And I'm a firm believer, if your goalkeeper makes a couple early saves, he just gets better. He builds with confidence. His morale is at an all-time high. His ego is growing. He's talking to everybody at the bar. And Courtois, you don't want to deal with him when he's been Super Saiyaned up. That's not going to be a good situation for you if you're on the opposite side and you're trying to slide something by him. Number 4, and surprisingly, I've got to put Butland. He's made it in my top 5. Statistically, it doesn't make sense. He's just that good. In fact, I've been commentating over a lot of pro matches in the FPL, and that happens on Wednesday and Thursday, and Butland is being used in plenty of those squads where you thought it would be a Neuer or a De Gea or even a legend goalkeeper, and Butland is the goalkeeper of choice. So it's not a coincidence. It's not just me or just him or just your sister or just your friend that's using Butland and he's performing. Everybody seems to be on the same page that he's one of the best goalkeepers in FIFA 17, and if you don't have a bankroll, you don't have a big budget, at least you don't want to allocate it towards a goalkeeper, embrace Butland. Tell him that he's a marquee signing, whatever kind of positives and superlatives you need to give the guy, because he's going to deliver the goods. I'd love to have him as my mailman. I would never get anything not on time. He would make sure that it got there. That makes no sense as a reference point. So we're just going to cut that off. The point I'm trying to make is Butland is the real deal in this year's installment. Petr Cech comes in at the midway point, and this is the goalkeeper that I'm choosing where I feel many of you may disagree. I have him at number 3. And this is one of those goalkeepers that he's been outstanding for me. And that's why you see him included in squad after squad after squad. But I just feel that the comments are once again going to erupt with Hugo needs to be above Cech, or Begovic has to slip in there. How can you do that to Handanovic? He deserves to be in a higher position, and so forth and so on. But for me, Petr Cech is so consistent. The ultimate goalkeeper in terms of consistency. He doesn't always make the full stretch heavenly save of all saves when you make a drastic defensive error, but with that being said, he always gives you the same results, and I can get used to what Cech's gonna save and what he might concede. He still has that all-star potential. There's gonna be times where you salute the main man, you look back and you're like, he had 7, 8 saves in this game. Thank you. You've been my lifeboat, and we're still floating. We were saved from the Titanic. We are survivors. Can I get a drum roll, please? At the runner-up position, wait for it, we've got De Gea, and he deserves it. Even though he's been smashing many escorts, prostitutes, he's involved in that business. He saved United last year, and he deserves to have that major upgraded card. And you notice him on the pitch. He's an all-arounder. He's big, he's acrobatic. He can do everything well. There's not a negative that I've got for De Gea, and that's why you see so many squads where instead of the Koscielny with the Lloris or the Cech, you see the De Gea and the Smalling and the Kyle Walker. Well, most of those squads have Kyle Walker. Even though if you have Bellerin, it's not going to be a big deal. Both of those right backs are just two of the most overpowered or just the best in general. How many right backs are better than Bellerin or Kyle Walker? I'll wait. Number 1, no surprises. I've decided to go with Neuer. And even though I've had some stellar matches going up against other people's Manuel Neuer, this isn't the most dominant Neuer we've ever seen in any FIFA installment. He's still premium quality, and when he's performing at his best, it is better than the rest, in my opinion. And that's one way that I'm looking at this countdown. Remember when I was talking about criteria is consistency? Neuer's not going to do very much dumb nothing. He just isn't going to concede long shots left, right, and center. He's not going to screw up a parry. For the most part, you get a consistent player, and then when he's on his A game is just better than others. That's how I feel. And that's why I had to put him at number 1. And he's still the most frequently used goalkeeper. If you're looking at competitive play right now, maybe things will shift, but I try to use competitive play to match up with everyone's opinions and then my own personal preference on goalkeepers when I'm putting together this countdown. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to drop a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're brand new. I'm happy to have you. I'm looking forward to the comments. Remember, I'm making that legend video, so if you want to influence that, hey, I'm taking suggestions, but I'll have a lot more coming for you ASAP.